Really bad news for Lil Durk. The feds are committed to doing whatever it takes to make sure Lil Durk never sees daylight again and spend the rest of his life in prison. Lil Durk has been sitting in jail for over a year now awaiting trial. We've seen every file.
You know what's crazy, bro? Like, I'm 26, bro. Like, I was always the biggest Lil Durk fan. You know what I mean? Even like before he did all that, that gangsta. I mean, he was always doing the gangster rap shit, but it was more like the I wouldn't say R&B, but it was more like the auto tune, the DJ, when he was dating DJ Loaf and all that shit, like all the way back in the days, bro. Till until like what? Until like last year, I stopped listening to him. But I'm telling you, bro, I used to be the biggest Lil Durk fan, bro. It's fucked up what happened. But look, bro, these rappers, man, they make their own decision, bro. So
We've seen everything the Fed has presented on Lil Durk, and essentially all they got on Lil Durk is a text message where Lil Durk is telling people, don't book any flights under any names associated with me. And then Lil Durk.
and I know I'm stopping the video a lot right now, but I just want to say, like, the fact that that's all they have is crazy. You know what I mean? I expected them to have more evidence, especially like when he first got arrested. I was following that shit like crazy, bro. You know what I mean? So I was online. I'm waiting to see, when's the next trial is gonna get delayed. New evidence. I was actually, following DJ Academic, a lot, because he would always give us like updates on what's going on. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. After like a couple years, after a couple months, man, I forgot all about Lil Durk. I'm just a fan, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just a fan. That's it, man. I forgot all about Lil Durk until now.
Essentially having people around them who are telling and cooperating, and is their word versus his. They're saying Lil Durk told us to do this. Durk is saying they're absolute liars. I don't know what they're talking about. But there's no physical evidence on Lil Durk. There's no circumstantial evidence on Lil Durk. There's absolutely no proof that Lil Durk called this hit outside of the snitches and the rats saying Lil Durk did this. Lil Durk lawyers are Brian Steele and Drew Finland.
It's crazy how all Lil Durk talking about all his rap song. Like, I feel like most of these rappers, bro, all they do is talk about not snitching, and as soon as that happen, their whole circle fold, bro. Like, you can't trust nobody but yourself, man.
Probably number one and number two best lawyers in the country right now. So even the feds know that's not enough to convict Lil Durk. If you're about to convict Lil Durk off the testimony of some very sketchy and suspicious people, good luck when his lawyers are Drew Finland and Brian Steele. That ain't gonna cut it. And the feds know this. So now the feds are coming back after what? Like, we're like 1 month or 2 months out from trial. Now they're trying to pile on additional charges on Lil Durk.
Huge update in the Little Durk case. His defense is probably feeling good this morning after seeing the bond motion filed by OTF Didi. Now, what Didi's bond motion says is quite frankly shocking. He says that on May 13th last week, the government told his lawyer, hey, we might be adding new charges. Excuse me? New charges? This trial was supposed to already happen. It's scheduled for August 20th. Do you know what would happen if new charges?
Yeah, bro. Like, if the feds take this long, man, it's over. They ain't got they ain't got nothing on you, bro. You know what I mean? Because usually with them, bro, it's over. Like, it's real quick. Everything happened real quick, but I don't know, bro. It's like a new pattern now, bro. We saw freaking who was the last shot I saw? Who was it? Who was it? Whatever.
Were filed, I'll tell you. But first, let's just talk about these new charges and this bond motion. Now, the bond motion being filed by OTF Didi, this is the guy the Fed said.
The Diddy trial. We all thought Diddy was gonna fucking. We all thought Diddy was gonna go to jail. I boy got a slap in the wrist.
Would pay.
Also, Young Thug slap in the wrist.
The bounties caused them to be paid. Didi says, first off, hang on, you got to give me a bond for a couple reasons. First off, the original indictment that said that I was causing the bonds to be paid, that's not even in the new indictment anymore. And then last week, the Fed's sitting here talking about they're about to add charges. How are you going to add charges when the trial should have already happened and is now scheduled to happen? And now you're going to add charges. You're going to keep me locked up forever. Didi saying,
Damn, Lil Durk might be free, bro. I mean, look, I feel like I'm a lot more mature now, so I don't condone violence. Like, I mean, I'm happy, you know, he got a second chance, but I feel like Lil Durk, you know, he did, you know, more bad than good, bro. You know, you made it out, you got the life, but you know, you trying to keep an image. You know what I mean? I don't know to who. It's definitely not your fan base. Cause like I said, bro, them niggas gonna forget about you so fast. Like, I'm telling you, I forgot all about Lil Durk, bro. So I don't know, whoever you know, you trying to keep that image for, it's not worth it. You know what I mean?
you got to let me out. I'm saying, wait a second.
The two additional charges they're trying to add on, the feds are claiming is relevant conduct. Now, it stems from two incidents, one in Chicago and one in Atlanta. Now, the Atlanta charge to me is the most interesting because the Atlanta charge is an incident that Lil Durk has already been arrested for and essentially exonerated from, right? The charges were dismissed. Lil Durk and King Von got into some type of altercation with somebody from Chicago. Now, they didn't know it at the time, but this dude was already like a federal informant. Like, this dude is an informant, and he's actually currently sitting in jail on fraud charges. But they got into an altercation with him. They hopped into their black SUV, and somebody pointed a gun out the window and shot him. Now, Lil Durk charges were dismissed after King Von passed away, and the Atlanta DA is claiming that King Von was the one who did the shooting.
That's right. We're outside APD headquarters now, as you said, and his lawyer says Lil Durk is still in the Fulton County Jail as his legal team works to get a bond set. But before he surrendered, we were with him in his lawyer's office. You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
A rapper's ride. Soon after we spoke, Durk Banks, a.k.a. the performer Lil Durk, emerged from his lawyer's space and headed toward an SUV. Soon after that, he stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. We actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
We immediately canceled the tour.
He's got a multi-million-dollar salary music career going.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
Warrants involving an incident in February on North Avenue involved charges including criminal attempt to commit murder and aggravated assault. One document indicates an Atlanta police investigator said to the best of his knowledge, Banks was employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in gang activity, shooting at the victim while co-defendants shot and robbed him. Is he involved in a gang?
No.
Banks indicated his lawyer told him not to discuss the specific facts of the case, but he...
When the Atlanta DA dropped these charges, it don't appear to be the usual thing. Like, you know, like when the state will drop a charge because the feds wanted to pick it up. It doesn't appear that's the case. It appears to, like, they dropped it because they thought Lil Durk didn't do it. Because when people were assuming Lil Durk, you know, cooperated against King Von or put the charges on King Von after King Von passed away, the Atlanta DA actually came out and did something that I thought was very interesting. They cleared Lil Durk's name. They said the charges were dropped against Lil Durk because King Von was who we believe that King Von was who shot, you know, like this person, and Lil Durk did nothing. So if the people investigating this came out and exonerated Lil Durk and said Lil Durk didn't do nothing, King Von did it,
Someone fucked up, bro.
then why or how do the feds plan on using this against Lil Durk? How do the feds plan on proving that Lil Durk committed attempted murder on this victim that the Atlanta DA who investigated this is claiming that King Von did it? To me, it makes no sense whatsoever. It feels like right now they're reaching. They're trying to put anything on Lil Durk because they understand they really don't.
Like, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like, as soon as Lil Durk got caught, I thought that was it, bro. Like the way they make it sound, if like they make it sound like they had so much evidence, right? Even the fact that he got, like, once they got him because he was trying to flee. So they got him, they called him while he was trying to flee. The fact that they had, so many of, his friend groups or gang members, whatever you call them niggas, or so many of them wanted to snitch so bad, you know what I mean? I thought it was a wrap for him, bro. Yo, maybe Lil Durk got a chance, man. You never know.
Don't have Lil Durk right now, dead right, as they initially thought they had.
If the feds have you cooked on a murder for hire, you're going to do life for a 2024 LA murder. Why aren't they taking it to trial already? And why, with just 2 months left to trial, they're talking about adding charges from a 2019 Atlanta incident. Newsflash, the 2019 Atlanta incident was investigated, charged by the Fulton County DA, and dismissed. Uh-oh. And then there's a Chicago incident. Earlier in this case, they tried to bring that Chicago incident in as evidence. The defense objected. Hey, this has nothing to do with this case. Why are you trying to bring that in? The government said, okay, we'll withdraw it. But with just a couple months left for that trial, August 20th, they want to go and bring back these incidents and these old charges. That tells you something. That tells you that they do not have him dead to rights and that he needs to take a plea or he's going to do life. That tells you his criminal defense is very much alive. And it reiterates the point in every criminal case that as much as the media wants to paint people as cooked or innocent, you never know until the game is played. And so you hold your cards tight and you learn that on day 1 of your arrest, you're not guilty. On day 30, you're not guilty. You could go years of pre-trial, weeks of actual trial, jury seated. But until every single last witness has sang their song and the lawyers have given their closing, you just don't.
If I'm Lil Durk, the level of hatred I would have for my co-defendants, I can't even put it into words. And I'm not talking about the dudes who have already cooperated or who is snitching or who is set to testify against Lil Durk. I'm talking about even the co-defendants who kept it solid. When they got arrested, the feds, by law, had to charge and send them to trial by a specific date. Lil Durk said, I'm not waiving my right to a speedy trial. I want trial next week if you want to give it to me next week. Because Lil Durk understand, when you give the feds enough time to find information, they're going to find it. If you give the feds enough time, right, to paint you as guilty, they're going to paint you as guilty. Whatever they're looking for, they're going to find. Lil Durk co-defendants, the dummies. So, no, I don't want trial next week. I want to wait a year. They waived their right to a speedy trial. And because Lil,
I mean, that's the thing, bro. Like, the people you hang around with, man. Like, some motherfuckers act like they're the toughest, they're the toughest dude, but when push comes to shove, it's like, bro, everybody folded, right?
Durk and them is grouped under the same indictment. Durk got to wait because OTF Didi and the rest of them dummies wanted to wait a year or two for trial. So now the feds got ample time. You know what they do right now, man? Hey, man, he got pull this. Oh, that's irrelevant. Pull this.
Yep.
And now the feds is trying to put anything they can put on the table, man, to get Lil Durk life. If you guys have forgotten how Lil Durk has been spanking the feds and taking W's since he's been arrested and how his lawyers have been spanking the feds in court, let's take a look at some of the W's Lil Durk has gotten since he's been locked up.
Little Durk update. The trial has been pushed to August 2026. If you listen to the noise, all you're going to hear is Durk is cooked. Nobody's there for Durk. Motion denied. But that's just the noise. The fact of the matter is his trial team has won a number of points in this case. The indictments, there's been 3 indictments, and each time the allegations against Durk have thinned out. Some of the evidence that they wanted to use has actually been withdrawn so that the judge didn't have to exclude it. I'm going to take you through it piece by piece. I'll leave the best parts for the end. First, when they charged Durk, the main allegation about him rapping in his lyrics was this lyric about him going, told me they got an Addy, got location, green light, seen your son on the news screaming, no, no. Okay, that lyric. If you play that lyric, then you play the video of Quando next to the murdered victim, no, you would have won major points with a jury. That lyric's not in the indictment anymore because Finling showed that those lyrics were written well before the murder. Couple more points. When they bought this case, they said the conspiracy started in August 2022. That's when Durk arranged to get these rentals, these flights. That's when he made arrangements for the bounty. Then they switched that and they said, actually, the conspiracy started back when Vaughn died in November 2020. And they had to do that because they needed to bring in more lyrics. They needed to bring in Instagram comments and the podcast comments to build that whole story because it wasn't enough to just show.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, like the thing that's so shocking, bro. Like I don't know what happened to the feds, but usually like the feds, bro, they'll as soon as you get caught by the feds, bro, usually they have all the evidence they needed, and they'll just throw you in there, bro. Just like that. Hey man, hey bro, Lil Durk might be free, man. I'm just taking a good guess. You know what I mean? Because you never know, bro. Like you might win all these points, and then the judge decides, you know what? Nah, bro, you getting life. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's not what happened again. I mean, but it's still his fault. You know what I mean? So
Show him paying shooters and show him renting cars. Maybe they're not going to be able to show all that. Let's extend it back. Let's give the jury a bigger story.
That was a few months ago. We thought, again, naively, okay, the feds is withholding information. Because when they like indicted Lil Durk and we read the indictment, we said, hold on. Like hold on. Okay, so Lil Durk told somebody via text, don't book anything under any names associated with me. And that's it? Like we don't have any text of him.
I mean, look, based on my knowledge of this stuff, even though like they can't prove. All right, I'm talking about two different point of view here, right? Even though like the feds, they can't prove it, right? They can't prove that Lil Dick did it. Cool, he might be free. But as the fans, bro, come on. You know what I mean? Like I'm a big Lil Durk fan, bro. But at some point, bro, I feel like I'm trying to change my mindset, bro. I try not to like not get involved into just don't keep this energy around me anymore, bro. You feel me? So as a fan, we know, bro. We know. You know what I mean?
Like paying the shooters, we don't
Used to be a fan. I gotta make myself correct. I'm changing.
have any like wire receipts of him giving them money. We don't have nothing. Like all we have is, well, like OTF and them use the company credit card to book flights. Well, they've always had access to the company credit card. So if they book something under the company's credit card, that's proof that Lil Durk told them to go kill somebody in California. Lil Durk had a podcast in California. While this was going on, Lil Durk was being interviewed in California. Like, while all of this was going on, Lil Durk was being interviewed like on a podcast in California. So maybe, just maybe, they booked flights to be in California with like Lil Durk. And like when they got there, they went ahead and did something else about it. Now, clearly, I'm being obtuse. Clearly, I think Lil Durk obviously was involved in this.
Hey, look, you see, I try to play it off. I try to like, try and keep it, in a way where it's like, it's not direct, but it's like, I kind of tell you guys, if you know, you know, right? But this is nigga Flacco.
But how are you going to prove this in a court of law?
Yeah, that's true.
You can't. But we thought, man, certainly the feds didn't arrest Lil Durk and bring Lil Durk to court based off of nothing. It looks like they did. It looks like they 100% arrested Lil Durk and brought Lil Durk, like in jail, and it's about to take Lil Durk to trial.
That's crazy. And you know what? I feel like if they waited just a little bit, Lil Durk would have done something to, some other shit to get cut up, bro. Like again, I don't wish bad on, on anybody. But if you're moving the way these guys are moving, bro, like, you menace to society, bro.
essentially over nothing, because they don't have no physical nor circumstantial evidence that Lil Durk did this.
They withdrew evidence of a 2022 incident in Chicago, which appears to have been them wanting to show that, hey, look, another time in Chicago back in 2022, he paid for people to go do violence. Well, they took that off the table and they said, hey, we're not going to talk about any of that. And here's the big one. When they charged Durk, they said in the indictment about the bounty that at the direction of defendant Durk Banks, defendant Wilson, that's OTF Didi, would pay the bounty or monetary reward to the shooters. That's gone. We know OTF Didi Wilson is going to trial. So their main allegation on the bounty that Durk told Didi to pay the shooters is gone, and they're pivoting to another way to prove the bounty. What did they pivot to? They say the consideration, the thing Durk promised for the murder, was lucrative music opportunities with OTF, putting people in videos. That's their theory of the bounty payment. That is where you make your defense. The murder for hire statute requires quid pro quo. The murder has to be committed in exchange for something of economic value, not an after-the-fact gift, not something that you would have just happened anyway, not something you do normally as part of your business, an actual contract. Okay, and if all the government can do is point out that the shooters were in the music videos after the fact, a jury has a real question to answer about that was a murder contract or just some other part of a relationship between a lot of people who were connected in a lot of ways. Interestingly, at the same time that the government pivoted from saying Didi paid the shooters to saying, hey, it was putting people in music videos, they also added a fallback charge. So when they bought the case, the original indictment, there was no stalking charge. In the second superseding indictment against Durk, they added a stalking charge. And the stalking charge is important because it doesn't require any contract. No quid pro quo, no bounty, no payment theory. You can add that charge and simply prove that, hey, he was telling people to go do this. He didn't necessarily pay them to go do a murder, but he was telling them to go follow that guy. He was telling them to go stalk that guy.
Here's another thing. In the first indictment, they said that after they killed Quando Rondo's homie, they went to like a McDonald's or some fast food restaurant, and they sat there and discussed how they were going to get paid and how Lil Durk was going to send a wire, et cetera, et cetera. But then in the amended indictment, in the next one, they said that Lil Durk rewarded them with music opportunities, whatever that means.
Boy, imagine taking someone's life, bro, just to get a feature with Lil Durk. Have you guys not seen like all these rappers that do pay for features, bro? Like they don't really blow up like that, bro. Like usually the rappers that blow up are the one that got really, the one that got like one hit, you know what I mean? They got like one good track, that shit went viral, and then you have all the other rappers basically just doing a remix on that shit, bro. So imagine taking someone's life just for a feature, and then that's it, bro. No one listens to you anymore. That's it.
Music opportunities. So this went from murder for hire, he paid money, to, oh no, we can't prove he paid money, but we know for a fact he rewarded them with music opportunities. Everybody that was involved were already a part of OTF. Like they already were quote unquote signed to OTF if they were rappers, or they had some type of job or capacity under OTF. So what other opportunities will have Lil Durk presented? And then also too, some of the people involved were King Von's family members. Like OTF Vonnie was King Von's blood cousin. OTF Vonnie didn't need an exterior motivation to go ahead and murder the people that he believes are responsible for King Von's murder. That's his blood cousin. So I don't know, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I think what happened to Lil Durk is a grave injustice. Let me know, man. If you're still watching.
Look, bro, like and subscribe, leave a comment. But I'm gonna say this, bro, like injustice, I wouldn't say that, bro. Again, but I used to be a big fan of Lil Durk, but I got to a point in my life where it's like, you know what I mean? I don't want to listen to too much negative shit right now, but I think anything that happened to Lil Durk, I think he deserves it, bro. Obviously, I don't want nothing bad to happen to people, but it is what it is, bro. I'm out.